Hey everyone, welcome to another stream. Feel like it's been a little while. My stream schedule lately has been very inconsistent, very all over the place. I haven't even been streaming much on Twitch either. But had some time to kill today, had some energy in me, and I finally got my 3DO working through my FrameMeister again. I was running into just these display issues. I couldn't get the game to display correctly, and I had to go tinker through my settings on my FrameMeister manually. It seems to be an issue with Composite and S-Video specifically. I'm running this 3DO with S-Video. Unfortunately, I do not have an RGB modded 3DO, so we're using my FZ10 with S-Video, and like I said, the FrameMeister has been playing hell with it, but I figured it out. And so, last minute Wolfenstein 3D stream. Had the urge to play Wolfenstein 3D a lot recently. I was actually streaming it a couple weeks ago on Twitch. I was playing the PC version via the EC Wolf source port, and was having a really good time of it. And I thought to myself, like, man, I haven't streamed Wolfenstein 3D on the 3DO here in many, many years. I'm going to actually look it up real quick just to see when the last Wolfenstein 3D stream was. For 3DO specifically, I think it's been like 4 or 5 years now. It's been a long time. Let's see. It's not populating, actually. YouTube search functionality. Why can you not be better? Almost 4 years. November 23rd, 2018. This is when I last played the 3DO version on stream here, so it's kind of fun. We actually did the Jaguar Wolfenstein 3D, I think sometime last year or the year before. So for anybody that wants to catch that archive later, or if you want to fall asleep to something, I will link it in the chat here. So some of you guys are going to see that before you actually hear me say that, because I do have the long delay on today to hopefully, you know, make the video quality a little bit better. Some of these old school first-person shooters, or first-person shooters in general, really can really like distort, have a lot of artifacts and stuff like that with live streaming. So by having a greater delay, it's more time for YouTube to process it and encode the video. So hopefully it looks better on your end, especially on the archive. So, but yeah, we're gonna try to rip through Wolfenstein 3D on 3DO. Now, the interesting thing about this version is that it has the what's called the original encounter, which is the level set for like the Super Nintendo and the Atari Jaguar versions. It's basically 30 maps. A lot of them are based on the PC originals, but they're heavily cut back, probably to play to like you know these old consoles, memory limitations and stuff like that. But what's cool about this version, and this is not in the Super Nintendo or Jaguar version, it actually has all of the original PC levels too. They are massive compared to the levels in the original encounter. We're not going to be playing those today. Maybe that's something I can revisit down the road if you guys want to see me try to go through like all 6 episodes on the 3DO version. But yeah, we're going to be playing the 30 map set. I don't know how long this is going to take. I think it's going to be heavily dependent on how many times I die, because when you die in this game, you end up, losing all your firepower, basically. So, and it's hard to recover. But there are occasional save moments in this, like you can actually save your progress. I think it's once every few levels you'll be allowed to save your progress. So if I happen to die in a level where I literally just saved, then I can just reload the file and I should be fine. But we're going to have to play it relatively safe here. So, but yeah, should still be a good time. Welcome everyone that's here. I see Dark Shadow Rage out there, Mark Habiter, Crestline, DJ Rudin, good to see you, sir, as always. Obscure Media, welcome back. Greg N. Oh, hell yeah, says Greg. Office says, get psyched. Welcome back, Office. And of course, Red, thanks for rejoining as a channel member, Red. Much appreciated. I see Carl Anderson out there. I see Flynn. Flynn says he owns the Genesis version of this game. Yeah, so we actually have a live stream of the Genesis version from a couple years ago as well. That was basically a homebrew. So you know, you can have people, you know, burn it to a ROM and allow you to actually play it on real hardware without having a flash card or something. That's what Flynn's talking about. Gabraldo. And I see Dasan popped in too. Looks like he's actually dipped out. And Savvy Jones, Miss Savvy Jones. Miss Classic FPS herself. I had to make a quick adjustment here. Just bear with me. And, alright. Come on, adjustment. Alright, there we go. So just one last quick time for all the people that missed it. We do have our kitties here. And I'm actually using my camcorder today instead of my webcam, so it, you know, looks a little bit better. Smoother frame rate. You can even see the cats breathing. Oh, man. Alright, let's play some Wolfenstein 3D. Okay. Good old 3DO. I've actually been wanting to binge some 3DO for a while now, but again, those capture issues have made it a little difficult. But yeah, you've got all 6 episodes from the original, you know, computer games. But we're going to be playing the original encounter, like I said, the original 30 maps. And I actually saw Obscure Media says, how does it compare to the Jaguar version? Well, it's the same map set as the Jaguar version, at least in terms of the 30 map episode, which is what we're going to be playing. Now, everything else is very different. Like, this game feels a lot faster, but the frame rate's also lower, so I think it's a little bit harder to aim sometimes. You also have individual strafe keys in this, so you have L and R, you can strafe left and right. And it looks like it actually canceled out for me. It timed out! Shame on you for sitting at this menu for too long. But we're going to play on the highest difficulty. I am Death Incarnate. It's the only way for me to play Wolfenstein 3D. I always pretend the other difficulties don't exist. DJ says I have played plenty of Wolf 3D, but I've never played 3DO. 3DO is a pretty cool system. Gets kind of crapped on a lot in the retro gaming scene, but there's some really good software on it. Wolfenstein 3D is like one of my favorite games on it. I mean, I'm just a big fan of classic Wolf 3D in general. But yeah, for people familiar with the PC version, and its subsequent ports to, like, I don't know, Xbox 360 and PS3, you'll notice that these levels are stripped down quite a bit. Also, secrets have been rearranged, so like in the original PC game, there's no secret here. But we just got a backpack that boosts our maximum ammo capacity, and we also got a box of bullets, which was something that was added to the sequel to Wolfenstein 3D on PC, Spear of Destiny. But that was carried over into this version, along with, you know, it's just like the Jaguar version. A lot of that stuff was introduced in the Jag and Super Nintendo versions, as well as the original Macintosh game, which this version was actually developed by the same person. At the time, Bill Heinemann, now Rebecca Heinemann. This version was developed by Rebecca Heinemann. And she also did the Macintosh version. So this version actually has a lot in common with the Mac version. It's still not a one-to-one with the Mac version. There are still quite a few differences. But it is very similar to that version, which I would love to stream eventually, but I've never been able to get it working right in an emulator. So, which is a bummer. I'd actually like to have early 90s Mac hardware and just try to play it that way and try to capture it that way. Maybe that's something I'll do eventually. Because I actually own, believe it or not, I actually own a box copy of Wolfenstein 3D on Macintosh. You know, for a while there, I was trying to collect big box PC games, and I've kind of held off on it for a little while now because prices are just crazy and money's tight. But the PC version, MS-DOS version of Wolfenstein 3D went up to like over $100 years ago, and I was just like, oh man, I don't know if I can justify that. So I bought the Macintosh version. It was like $30 instead of $100. And what's actually kind of funny about it is I think the Mac version is even more obscure. But it is what it is. All right. All right. Hey, Trev. Trev loves the 3DO. We go back, way back on a 3DO forum. But Trev says, more 3DO streaming is always a great thing. And this version of Wolf 3D rocks. Yes, it does. Absolutely. Savvy got stung by 2 wasps. That does not sound good. And Retro Strefa, hi, welcome to the stream. Says, love this game. Hey, Colin, welcome back. He says, 3DO was very impressive when it first came out. The original Need for Speed and Road Rash blew his mind back in the day. Yeah, and those are still, like, the original Need for Speed in particular is still an awesome game. It's basically an extension to the Test Drive series, which a lot of people don't know. I think a lot of the same developers that worked on the Test Drive games did Need for Speed. So it feels like a Test Drive 4. When did Test Drive 3 come out? Was it before Need for Speed? I don't know, but it feels like it's a part of that series before EA changed it into something else eventually. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Ooh, we have an option to save. For some reason, I did not have the option to do that last time. I did a quick, like, test run of the first level earlier, just to make sure that, like, you know, input lag felt fine. I am upscaling to 1080p, which adds a little bit of input lag, or it adds more input lag. Again, I'm using a FrameMeister upscaler, so this thing is 11 years old by this point in time. It's not exactly cutting-edge technology anymore, so there is a tiny little input lag when I upscale through this thing. The lower the resolution you're scaling to, the less time it takes to do all that processing, and so it results in less latency. But the 1080p image just looks much more crisp than the 720p image that I could use. Alright. So, there are some limitations to the 3DO controller here, regarding Wolfenstein 3D in particular. Like, you have to press, I think, C and then B to switch weapons. A little awkward. You do have an auto map in this, though. Whoops. Oh, no. Let's go back. Oh, B makes you go forward. I'm so used to B going back. Let's see. That's not it. Is it? How do I access the map? I thought there was a map in this version. I forget how to access the map. Pretty sure there's a map in this. I totally forgot how to access it. Anybody out there that remembers how to access the map, let me know. I was trying to access the map, and I couldn't. Pretty sure there's a map in this version. It's one of the nice features of, I think the Super Nintendo one has that too. And I don't recall off the top of my head if the Jaguar version has a map. But yeah, the reason I brought up the controls is that, you know, unless you're like really on point with your controls, you're gonna be accidentally switching weapons unintentionally. So, you know, again, it's B and C together. Hey, John Smith, welcome back. Marcus says, if you're like me and played Doom before Wolf, it's hard to go back to this block-based level design? I don't know. I say just open your minds. You do have to treat Wolfenstein 3D differently. It's, you know, Doom is a major evolution over this. Wolfenstein 3D, you have to treat it more like a fast arcade-style game. You know, and if you play it quickly, I think it's still a lot of fun. It's hard for me to be unbiased in that regard, because I did play Wolfenstein first before I played Doom, but still, like, even with Doom and then other first-person shooters that are obviously a lot more evolved, it's still a blast to play, you know? I just look at it as something different, and I try not to compare it to something like Doom. I mean, it is the granddaddy of the genre. And like I said, if you play it really fast, I think it's a ton of fun still. So, boss time. Now, one other issue with this version of the game specifically, and I'm not really sure why they did this, but there is no visual cue that you're taking damage. So there are sound cues. You have to really be aware of the sound cues when you're taking hits in this game. it's very easy to just like run into a room full of enemies and just die almost instantly, but not have any idea why you died. Because, you know, again, there's no visual cue. In the original PC game, the screen would flash red every time you took damage. Not in this version. The Jaguar version, I think the screen flashes when you take damage. Press A and C buttons together for the map. Oh, thanks, DJ. Okay, we'll try that. Alright, so A and C. Oh, there we go. We can even scroll it around. Thanks a lot, DJ. Much appreciated, sir. Oops, I just woke everybody up. So we have the chain gun. I'll probably just roll with this for pretty much the rest of the playthrough. This does have the flamethrower and the rocket launcher from the other home versions. So we'll also use those too, but we'll try to save the ammo for when we really need it. I really love being able to circle strafe in this version. It's so nice. Extremely handy. Extremely, extremely handy. It's interesting comparing the Jaguar and the 3DO versions. They both have their pros and cons. One of the pros for the 3DO is the shoulder strafing, which is amazing. One of the cons is the frame rate's not as good as it is in the Jaguar version. Though, I will say the Jaguar version's frame rate is less consistent. 3DO version's frame rate is kind of lower overall, but it's consistent, and it plays really fast. Jaguar version, you will actually feel the slowdown in the frame skipping, and it can make aiming a little difficult. But because of the 3DO version's lower inherent frame rate by default, it can be a little bit more difficult to aim in this version. Like, that's about as precise as you can get. You know, just little baby taps on, you know, the shoulder strafing. And if you turn left and right, look at that. That's not very precise. You know, it's definitely not the PC version, that's for sure. So you've got to be really careful about your aim in this one. It is definitely easier to aim in the Jaguar version. Alright, so I got my key. There's a door over here. Go through said door. Another big difference between, big difference with this version compared to the Jaguar one is this has a completely, like, orchestral soundtrack. It's actually really cool. Totally different soundtrack from any other version of Wolfenstein 3D. And it looks like it's actually letting me save after every level, which is interesting, because again, like, when I did a test level earlier, it didn't let me save. Maybe I just skipped through it by accident without realizing it, but I'm pretty sure the menu just didn't even come up, so maybe it was just a fluke. Hey, Lawrence, welcome back. Trev says, the music in this version is so epic. Yeah, I totally agree. I love the sound effects, too. They're very satisfying. And it's one reason why I really love this version of the game. It's just, the sound design overall is just great. Alright, so that's a locked door. Hey, Adam. Thanks for continuing your channel membership, sir. Alright, let's go backwards. Now, one thing that's interesting is in the original PC version, you can actually shoot through doors as they're opening, and I don't think that works in this one. I'm gonna have to try it. Let's see. Like, literally, like, the second the door starts moving, you can actually shoot through it in the PC version. It's almost like the door's not even there anymore. Obviously, it looks like it's moving, but it's, like, no longer, like a solid object. You can just shoot right through it. I don't think that works in this version. Alright, so I got the key. Wrong key. Alright, let's check out... Actually, I don't think I came here. Oh, this takes me back to the beginning. Alright, I have to take this door on this side. process of elimination. All right, good deal. Now we can exit. Run, BJ, run! Yeah, we are playing as BJ Blazkowicz. He's the main character in the Wolfenstein 3D games. And you notice that, like, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll kind of, like, pop into a room, then pop back. Because a lot of times they like to hide enemies in these corners, like, right next to doorways. So you can easily run into a room and just get you know, sniped right away. Gustavo, welcome to the stream. Good afternoon. Adam goes, yeah! That's what BJ says in this game. He picks up an extra life. He goes, yeah! It's great. Oh, man. Alright. Floor 2-3. So this original encounter is still, I guess, technically divided up into episodes. So we're on episode 2 right now, but they don't really line up with the original PC episodes. So it is handled a little bit differently. If I recall correctly, I think the episodes also get longer and longer. So like the first episode was only about 3 levels. This is going to be probably 3 or 4, maybe 5. And then the farther up into the episodes we get, there are more floors per episode. I think the last one will probably have 7 or 8 maps at least. I don't know. It looks like I was shooting through that door. I was still hitting that guy even though I couldn't actually see him. Maybe it does work. One other downside to this version too, and this actually goes for the Jaguar version as well, is enemies always face you in this. It's a lot like Doom on 32X, which a lot of people like to complain about, but for some reason it's not a problem in Wolfenstein 3D. People are weird and inconsistent. Whoa there. That was big damage. I don't know if I had full health actually, but I'm down to 64%. I feel like I had full health. I may not have, because I wasn't really paying attention to my health. Alright, let's go this way. I do know these levels fairly well. You know, I probably do a full run of console Wolfenstein 3D probably at least once a year. If it's not the 3DO version, I'll do the Jaguar version. And again, it has pretty much the same level set. Alright, so locked door. I have to go find the key. So, I still kind of have an idea of where I'm supposed to go. Because I have played this a lot over the years. Between this, the Jaguar version, and even the Super Nintendo one. Yeah, I played a lot of console Wolf 3D with these stripped back levels. Oh, need another key. So it's 2 doors. There's our first... Is that our first key? I can't see it. Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. It'd be so much easier to see the keys from a distance if I was using RGB. One of these decades, I'd like to get my 3DO RGB modded. And I also want to get a 3DO optical drive emulator for my FZ1, whom's disk drive I cannot get functioning. So it'd be great to get the ODE installed in that. It has the 240p switch on it, which is nice. Oops, wrong way. I'm actually confusing this for another map. But then also get an RGB modded. That would be really sweet. One of the issues with 3DO is that it's a very, like, unsaturated image with composite or S-video. And I have a feeling if I got an RGB modded, it would be like, you know, the colors would pop. That would be really nice. It's a shame that 3DO, whoops, just doesn't do RGB by default. For such a, like, a And for such an advanced system at the time, it's actually kind of surprising there's no RGB by default. Hey, Red Zero Ranger. He says, I wanted to say thank you, Austin. I've watched you play Ninja Gaiden so many times that the first time I sat down and played it, he made it to the final boss. Still struggling on the final boss, though. Yeah, I've got, you know, some tutorials on that, Red Zero Ranger. I can, you know, just check them out. It should give you a good idea on what you need to do on the final boss. Gustavo asks, is the SNES version of this really that bad, or are people over-exaggerating? No, I think people over-exaggerate. It's perfectly playable. It's fun, even, in my opinion. But yeah, it definitely looks kind of bad, and you know, there's censorship. I do feel like people go up in arms about censorship, which is kind of, I don't know, I think it's kind of arbitrary. It's not really a big deal in my eyes. And a lot of people will just trash a game simply because of that. Uh-oh, not good. Oh, crap. I was getting a little confused with my accidental weapon switching. Oof. Yeah, no, I have a full playthrough of the Super Nintendo one. I made it through... I'm not going to say without problems. If you play it on the highest difficulty, there are some really nasty quirks in that version of the game. Like, if I recall correctly, I think enemies were able to shoot through corners. Like, there's some weird stuff like that that makes it extra hard, but if you're not playing on the highest difficulty, I think it's still a fine game, especially for a Super Nintendo. Like, I mean... yeah, I think it's fun. Alright, boss time. Guten Tag! It's not as good as how he says it in the PC version. He goes, Guten Tag! Like, he's super happy to see you. Or super happy to murder you. Crazy Germans. I can say that, I'm part German. Alright. Let's see if we can get some ammo. Get prepped for our next level. Here we go, we're maxed out. Red says, hey YouTube, where's my 24-month badge? Let me check that out, Red. You might not actually be at 24 months yet. Let's see. Did it say it was 24? Oh, it is! Okay, Red, it'll probably take like... I don't know. It might take like overnight for it to register. But yeah, it says... I mean, like the message said 24 months. Hey, Diehard, welcome back. Hope you're doing well today. Let's go ahead and save our game. So now we have the zombie soldiers. These guys can be really, really dangerous. I think they're definitely the most dangerous enemies in the game. I shot just to see if I could wake them up, but apparently not. Nope, not gonna wake them up either. Trying to be really careful here. I'm gonna save that med kit. Looks like there's nobody in here. I keep switching weapons by accident. It's so frustrating. And it's always when, like, you know, I'm in a tense situation is when it happens. Yeah, these guys shoot really fast. Like, the second they see you, it's just boom, boom, boom. There's our flamethrower. Pretty cool. Flamethrower just kind of, like, rips right through enemies along with the rocket launcher here. Alright, so if I remember correctly, there's gonna be a really dangerous room on this map. And it's definitely one of those memorize or die scenarios. Alright, I'm obviously thinking of a different map then. Alright, let's go ahead and exit. Yeah, because there's one map with the zombie men that, or the mutants, where you have to get a key, and there's all these little side hallways that are hiding some mutants, and they'll basically all snipe you at once when you try to grab the key, so you need to take it, you know, safe and slow. Trev says, yeah, it's easy to waste a few bullets in this version swapping weapons. Yep, absolutely. Oh, man. Alright, let's go ahead and save. Yeah, you know, people have complained about the censorship in the Super Nintendo version of this game, and it doesn't really bother me. Like, obviously when this game came out, the whole Nazi theme was, it was definitely a big deal back then, because not many games had done that. You know, and especially in, you know, the early 90s, everything in World War II was still a very sore subject. You know, we're 30 years beyond that now, and I think people have a slightly different perception, or at least I'd say maybe have become desensitized to Nazi imagery. At least people that, like some of us, that have grown up with games like Wolfenstein 3D. When I play something like the Super Nintendo version, it doesn't really bother me because, like, I don't think about, ooh, Nazi symbols, blah, 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 that's so edgy. Like, I just think, oh, I like shooting guys in this little environment. It's fast-paced and it's fun. That's what I think about. I don't think about, oh, man, this game would be so much better with actual, like, Nazi flags. It's like, for me, it's about the gameplay in this game. The whole, edginess of, you know, it being actually based in World War II and dealing with sensitive material doesn't really mean a lot to me anymore in Wolfenstein 3D. Obviously, it's still a part of the game's identity, but when I'm playing the Super Nintendo version, I'm not thinking, oh man, this would be so much better with, you know, all the blood and guts and stuff. It's just aesthetic. For me, it's you know, it's the gameplay that makes these first-person shooters fun and addictive. But, you know, some people will just be like, oh, it's the worst game ever because, you know, this or that was edited. And I hear people complain about edits on games like, you know, the Castlevania series. Nintendo censorship. I'm just like, freaking whatever, man. Like, who cares? If anything, it makes the conversation about these games more interesting because we don't have carbon copy, cut and paste jobs of all, you know, with all the versions. We actually have things to talk about. More than just gameplay differences, but now there's visual differences and stuff like that. And we should just kind of accept them for what they are instead of wasting our breath complaining about those changes. I kept going past this door like an idiot. Sorry about that. And there's probably somebody out there screaming at their screen. You're supposed to be going this way! I always forget where secrets are in this level. My buddy Ronnie was here. He would just point out every single secret. He knows all of them. He's actually one of the folks that has done previous Wolfenstein streams with me, like the Genesis and 32X versions. So, fun times. Hopefully Ronnie can get up here sometime in the near future. We can do another stream together. Office is the removal of the Red Cross and the first aid kits was so lame. Yeah. Well, I think the story with that is, and somebody either here or after the fact in the comments section, I think the story is the cross on the med kits is... Oh, this is the room I was talking about. So you want to move forward, then back. Otherwise, you are going to die. The cross is apparently like a trademark of, like, the, you know, the Red Cross. And it's like, that's why they removed it from both Wolfenstein. What did they do it from Wolfenstein? And I think they did it from Wolfenstein's ports too. But they removed it from Doom, the modern Doom ports. That's why you have, like, the pills on the boxes instead of, you know, the Red Cross. Yeah, it is kind of dumb, but, you know, they don't really make changes like that without good reasoning. You know, they don't just go, I'd really like there to be a pill on this box. No, it's usually more than that, and it sucks. Like, look, this still has the Red Cross on it. It sucks, but, you know, it is what it is. Oh, I know. I'm there with you too, Office. I don't like it either, but whatever. It's already done. So, try not to waste my breath complaining about it too much when, you know, it's been that way for quite a while now, unfortunately. Trev says the 3DO has quite a few first-person shooters, not up to Wolf 3D quality, but some interesting and quirky games. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I actually, Trev, forced myself through Killing Time, finally. And I ended up doing a live stream of it, I think about 2 years ago now. That was an interesting experience. And then I did the PC version of that game, actually, which I ended up loving. I ended up really enjoying the PC Killing Time. 3DO version, like I said, I had to kind of force myself through. But definitely a lot of interesting concepts in that game. Then you have, like, the Iron Angel, the Apocalypse games. Iron Angel 2 feels more like less adventure. Whereas the first Iron Angel, there's, like, a lot of exploration and, yeah, you gotta hit, like, computer terminals and stuff like that. It's, I don't know, kind of a weird one, but it's interesting. PO'd, I could never really get into. I want to eventually try to finish that. That would make for a fun live stream here. Obviously, we know of Doom on 3DO. That's more interesting for its... the development story behind it, as opposed to it actually being a good game. And then Escape from Monster Manor. Now that I've got the 3DO hooked up, I might try to do some practice on that, see if we can actually manage to make it through that game. And if I can, we can do a stream of that during October, which I actually wanted to do in previous years and just never got around to it. Yeah, I know there's also DEF CON 5. That has some, like, first-person shooting sections, doesn't it? And then you've got Space Hulk, which is more of a strategy game, but it still plays in first person. And then, of course, you got first-person Western-style RPGs, Slayer and Deathkeep. And then I guess to a lesser extent, you have Robinson's Requiem. That's also first-person. Actually, quite a few first-person games on 3DO, now that I think about it. Not necessarily first-person shooters, per se, but a lot of first-person games. Right, I need a key. Right, let's bring up our map. Oh, Cyberdillo! I've actually tried to make it far into that game. I actually have a soft spot for it. It is one of the goofiest, dumbest games I think I've ever played. But you can get it to where, like, you can adjust the screen size to where it actually plays pretty well, by 3DO standards anyway. That's the locked door I don't have the key for. Maybe that room? Maybe. Well, it's back at the beginning. Okay. Whoops. Did not mean to do that. Yep, already been here. Yeah, I remember this area. Hey, Oberdisco. Crestline says the Robinson's Requiem is an interesting game. It says the Amiga version has some nice music. Nice. Yeah, I've never actually played Robinson's Requiem. I remember when the Jaguar version of the game was discovered, and it was put out by, I think, Songbird Productions. And it looks like an interesting game. Alright, let's go this way. Oh, I had never actually gone down here? Okay. Well, that explains things. Jeez, look at how much damage they do. These guys just annihilate you. Alright, I have to go back. I've got no health. Let's see. I think over this way there's quite a bit of health I left behind. Yep, there we go. Alright, cool. Nope, not that way. Yeah, these mutants, they do tons and tons of damage. Like, even the ones from a distance were still doing quite a bit of damage. Alright, that's our last key. And I have to remember where that locked door was. Alright, see ya, Trev. Have a good one, man. Alright, let's use our map. Yeah, I have to go that way. Okay. The map is so handy. It's extremely handy. Alright, whew. We made it. Powell? I don't know. Welcome to the stream. Potbelly says the problem with the 3DO is almost all the 3D games reported the PS1 and run better there. I mean, quite a somewhere. Some are worse though. Like, what the hell was it called? I'm blanking out. I'm blanking out on the name of the game. Starfighter. Yeah, Starfighter is much nicer on 3DO, which is interesting. Need for Speed obviously runs better on PlayStation, but it's also a very different game. You know, they made it an arcade-style racer versus a simulation driving game. Road Rash definitely runs better on PlayStation, though, that's for sure. And Need for Speed runs better on PlayStation too, but it's such a different game that it almost doesn't even matter. You know, it's nice that the original Need for Speed on 3DO is the way it is, because it makes for still a unique game on the 3DO. Alright, let's switch back to our guns. There's got to be some ammo here somewhere. Yeah, Starfighter is one of those examples where, you know, the 3DO version has the major hand up compared to the PlayStation and Saturn ones. Yeah, I mean, it's not like everything's better on PlayStation versus the 3DO versions. But there are definitely games that are, I'd say, are better on PlayStation. Like Gex is a good example. It's only capped, it's like, I think it's capped at like 30 FPS on 3DO, so it's a little weird to play. I never really liked when platformers ran at a sub 60 frame rate. Like, you know, you go back and you play like Ninja Gaiden or Mega Man or Castlevania on the NES and they're buttery smooth, you know, buttery smooth frame rates, and you play Gex on 3DO and it's just feels, something feels off about it, and I think it's because of the frame rate. And they fixed that in like the PlayStation and Saturn versions, so that's, you know, that's nice. Apparently the 3DO version has some more levels though, but I'd rather a, you know, good 60 FPS frame rate versus more content with, you know, a more stuttery frame rate. Total Eclipse? Yeah, I think Total Eclipse is better on PlayStation. It's not like leaps and bounds better, but it definitely has a smoother frame rate. Total Eclipse is one of those games where it's like, I never really thought it was a great game to begin with. I think it's really impressive for 1993, but as far as the gameplay is concerned itself and like the level design and stuff like that, it's not really all that engaging. I definitely much prefer Solar Eclipse. It's a much more fleshed out experience. The level design's a lot more interesting. I did a live stream of that earlier this year? Yeah, I think it was earlier this year. Alright, let's be careful here. And then I also did the PlayStation version of that, which was really interesting. It wasn't as good as the Saturn one, but it's still interesting to show off nonetheless. Someone behind me? Yep, someone behind me. Yeah. I bet PO'd runs a lot better on PlayStation though, for sure. I'm almost wondering if I ever decide to tackle that game, if maybe I should play that version. No, you don't need Lightspeed reflexes in Total Eclipse Turbo, John. You're quoting misinformation. If you're referring to the old Digital Foundry video, that's not actually how the game runs. Yeah, we've had to go over this a bunch of times since John put out that video a while ago. And it was later found that he was running it on just the wrong type of hardware, and it just caused the game to run way too fast, and that's not actually how the game plays or runs normally. I know, because I bought a copy just to try it for myself, because I was like, I don't remember the game running this badly. Or badly as in, like, way too fast, so... So we need to stop quoting that, so I can stop correcting that. Crestline says, I wonder if BJ is a redhead? I mean, does his hair look red? His face is right there, Crestline. It definitely looks more like, I don't know. Dirty blonde. We'll go with dirty blonde. BJ is a dirty blonde. You dirty blonde, you. Actually, I think on the box art, it's just straight up brown. Definitely not red. Yeah, regarding the comment of 3DOs, a lot of its 3D titles are redundant because they're on PlayStations. Like, there's a lot of 3D stuff on 3DO that's not on anything else, even. Not on anything else, or definitely not on PlayStation or Saturn, so... Yeah, 3DO has a decent-sized library. It's like 200 to 300 games, I think. Or maybe it's... I'm gonna have to actually double-check that. Now I'm wondering if it's, like, slightly under 200. I don't remember. I don't remember the library counts anymore. I'll have to look it up, but it's definitely not like the Jaguar's library. It's got way more games than something like the Jaguar. So there's a lot of interesting software that I think a lot of people just overlooked. And for good reason. I mean, the platform wasn't exactly a smashing success, so a lot of games kind of like flew under the radar for a lot of people. Carl says the world needs more redhead heroes. I have to remember where my locked door was. Alright, let's bring up our map. Let's see. Look at that. It's chugging. It's struggling to display this map. At least we have a map. Door, where are you? I mean, that's the beginning. There. Okay. Alright, so we just go backwards, go through that room. Alright, I got it. Yeah, so the shooting through the door trick definitely does not work. You have to actually... The gap has to be there. Just go ahead and exit. I think I'll be fine. Claire Redfield's hair isn't red, though, Crestline. Are you... maybe if you're colorblind, it's red. It's clearly brown on just about every Resident Evil cover that she's on. Maybe I'm colorblind. Oh, man. Now I have to question my identity. I heard 2 callouts. Oh, yeah, I did. The enemy was just being dumb. Well, I mean, this whole door trick is like, it's really inconsistent. Sometimes I hit them, sometimes I don't. Crestline, you're making my head hurt, dude. I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, I kind of see what you guys are doing, but it's like... okay. I'm gonna just focus on shooting Nazis now. Digital Nazis from 1995. I think this version of the game actually came out in 95. I think it was a 95 release. The original PC game was 92. SNES 1, I think, was 93 or 94. Same with the Jag version, was also 94. What did I get hit by? Oh, guys on the other side, go figure. Oh, hey, I think Savvy was there. We actually played through this level in the PC version just last week. This version is heavily stripped down, though. Actually, you know, it's not all that stripped down, now that I think about it. It's pretty similar, actually. Oh, this part is very different, though. Okay, yeah. And I always forget how to get into that little area. Hey, Dasan, welcome back. We are doing well, sir. You missed some shmups last night on Twitch. Yeah. I played Radurgi, Raiden Project, Raiden 3, Dodonpachi Daiojo, Espgaluda, and some Gradius 4. Granted, by the time I got to Gradius 4, I was really sucking because I was drinking. And this door sound effects are so good. Although I will say, I love the door sound effects in the original Wolfenstein 3D PC game. Another one bites the dust. P6, welcome back. I have pleasant memories related to this game. The voice acting always made him laugh out loud. Mein Leben! Yeah, the callouts in classic Wolfenstein 3D are great. They did change them for the console versions. Not really sure why.
Urgency.
Pressline says, serious question though. Does the rocket launcher and flamethrower work the same way, or does one have different mechanics from the other? The flamethrower shoots a lot faster, Crestline, and I think it'll also get absorbed by enemies, whereas the rocket launcher will just cut straight through them. So, like, let's test that. No, it's cutting straight through enemies. Let's see, I want to use it on an SS soldier. No push walls. Yeah, but the rocket launcher will absolutely cut through just about everything except bosses. Woo! Overkill. Overkill, too. Hey, MT Shark, welcome back. Oh, that was my chance to try it. Yeah, so one shot actually did not kill him, so, and it didn't cut through him. I guess it just depends on the amount of health that an enemy has. But again, with the rocket launcher, it should cut through pretty much all the enemies except boss fights. Whoops. Yep. There's no splash damage either with the rocket launcher, so it's not nearly as dangerous as it is in, say, Doom. I don't think that secret area was mandatory. Whoa, man, alrighty. Hey, Stexor, welcome back. That was weird. He spotted me before, like, I even saw him. Yeah, you have to be really, really careful. Definitely be on your toes in this version. I mean, that honestly, that goes for any Wolfenstein 3D. Especially the PC version. The mutants in particular are just, like, nasty enemies in the original PC one. The mutants are basically silent enemies until they shoot. So like you can't really they don't have callouts. They don't like growl at you, so they're stealthy compared to regular enemies. Dasan says, I think the 3DO does include the full PC campaign. It does, Dasan. Yeah, I talked about that at the beginning of the stream. It's even in the description as well. but it also comes with a stripped-down 30-map campaign, which is basically the same campaign that was in the Super Nintendo and Jaguar versions. And also the Macintosh version. You could pick the 30-map version in the Mac game as well. Woo! Yeah, this is actually a pretty tough map. I've died here a lot over the years. But yeah, there's that little secret here, which is important if you die and you have to recover, which I've had to do a lot over the years. Although, you know, you can technically abuse your save functionality. But I'd like to try to get as far into this as I can without dying, if possible. That'd be cool, if I manage to, say, get through the whole thing without dying. I've definitely never done that before. Like I said, between the, you know, like, not being able to hear the mutants, and, not being able to really see when you're taking damage, it's very easy to get lazy and just take a ton of damage and they just die instantly, just about. Alright, good deal. Alright, note to self, there's a lot of health over there. Could try to grab that later. Okay, so those rooms are connected. Good to know. It's kind of a dangerous set of rooms. Ah, there we go. Okay. Whoa there. Was not expecting him. These doors keep opening and closing, so there's someone roaming around. Thank you, shoulder strafing. Whew. Alright, let's go back. There is a locked door over here. Man, that flamethrower does not like doors. Or, sorry, the rocket launcher. Oh, jeez. God. Yeah, it's getting a little tense now because I don't have much health. So we found the exit. I'm just trying to see if there's any leftover med kits or anything. Alright, rocket launcher. Alright, good. Whew. Feel a little bit better now. Got some ammo too. That's actually perfect. We've got almost maximum ammo. And now we can just go ahead and exit. Whew. I was down to 2% health there. I was a very, very high percent chance of dying there. Man. That was crazy. I'm going the wrong way. Let's see. Bring up our map. Oh, it's down that hallway. Okay. Whew. Oh, man. Yeah, that was crazy. That was very, very close. Oh, man. Alright, save the game. You have to name your save file the same as the last one if you want to overwrite it. Otherwise, it makes a brand new save for every file that you name. And that fills up the memory on your 3DO very, very fast. Oh, I think this is the boss map, actually. Yep, he's... Oh, that's just him. Jeez, I'm almost dead already. Yep, there he is. Oh, he shot me through a corner. This isn't Super Nintendo Wolfenstein 3D. Come on. Oh, that was BS. Oh, so much for a no-death run on this game. Well, one trick I can do is I can try to play it out as is, or I can just load a file, which I might end up doing. Yeah, and when I went into this, I wasn't expecting this to be the boss level. So it's also kind of my fault for not being able to recognize that. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, no, 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 no. All right. We're restoring. Whoa there. Got him. Oh man, a little stressful. Alright, boss is dead, but I still have to be careful. Yeah, this boss map is actually probably one of the harder ones because you wake up the Uber mutant very early, and he just starts wandering around the whole map. There's a lot of the boss fights in this game. It's like, you know, the boss has its own dedicated arena that you generally, you know, stumble upon. But this, it's a big circle, and he will just follow you. And I always forget, like, this is the boss map when I get here. Let's go back and get ourselves some more ammo. Yeah, so ammo's all the way in the back of the map. Thank you, Office. Office is well slain. It's a shame I died a couple times before I made it happen, but oh well. Oops. Spear of Destiny doesn't mess around, you guys say? Yeah, I mean, it's... Wolfenstein 3D in general is pretty tough. You have to play really, really safe and careful. You know, doubly so for Spear of Destiny, for sure. I don't know, my stream of it was also many, many years ago at this point. I feel like if I went back through it, I would do better now. You know, if October wasn't coming up, I would actually try to put some time into that again and see if I can do a full run and do another stream here. That's right, can't forget this secret. It's a good secret. So you do have limited lives in this game, but it is kind of redundant because of the save functionality. Hey, Code, what's my favorite Wolfenstein 3D clone? I would say Corridor 7. That was by Capstone Software. I really like Corridor 7. It's got some interesting things it did with this engine. I also like a lot of the music and just like the eerie vibe. I think Blake Stone is another great one, along with Planet Strike, but man, those games are really, really challenging. They're like... You guys think Wolfenstein's hard, you should play Blake Stone. It's just absolutely brutal. So for me, when I play Wolfenstein, I always play on the highest difficulty. On Blake Stone, like, I'll get murdered if I play on that difficulty. Even the third difficulty is still really hard. That's why you guys have never seen a Blake Stone stream, it's because it brutalizes me. Code says, great answer! Well, what if I didn't give you a great answer? Would you berate me? What if I said, like, Operation Body Count, Code? But no, yeah, it's great to see other Corridor 7 fans out there. A lot of people just kind of, like, knock it. But, I suppose one of the problems with Corridor 7 back in the day is that Doom was already out, I think, by the time it released. So it was a little dated, but I loved it. I still played it a lot growing up. It was also one of my very first eBay purchases. I played the shareware demo, and so I bought a copy on eBay for like $3 or something. Totally worth it. Hey, Liberal Arts Guy, welcome back. Desant says, problem with Blake Stone on the high difficulty, the enemies become bullet sponges. Yeah, for sure. They also dish out the usual greater amount of damage, and they're, you know... It's just, yeah, it's tougher to deal with overall. Okay, I am running around in circles. I got scared there. I heard someone shooting at me. Even this version gets stressful. It's kind of crazy. Okay. Man, the question is, should I try to find some more health? I don't even know if there is. Oh, there's probably some down here. Yeah, a little bit. Should be enough to get me by. Yeah, Code probably would have just said, "Interesting answer." Code, you're so nice. I love it. I'd be like, "You're so stupid." Operation Body Count? Who likes that game? No, I'm just kidding. I actually used to give people a hard time for some of their opinions. And I actually, you know, depending on the opinion, I might actually still give people a hard time. Like, if it's something that's, like, obviously inflammatory and intentionally inflammatory, I'm like, okay, that's stupid. But I don't poke fun at people as much these days for oddball opinions. So if someone came in here and was like, "I love Operation Body Count," I would just, like, nod and smile. At one point in time on this stream, I probably would have, like, poked and prodded them. I try not to do that anymore. Oh, man. P6 says the most enjoyable FPS for him is still Deus Ex 1. Yeah, that's a game I've always wanted to try to finish, and I never have. Alright, so I know I can... Let's try to do this. Like, I could just try to run straight through. The problem with that is these are all hit scan enemies. I'm going to take damage. So I'd rather just try to take them out like that. There's more. In the Jaguar version of the game, they say Achtung, just like they do in this, except the way that the voices are so, like, they're pitched down. It sounds like they're saying Achoo! Like they're sneezing or something. I am wasting a lot of ammo. Oh yeah, me too, Dasan. Yeah, this is definitely a huge upgrade from the Jag version in terms of sound, but, you know, like I've said many times, they both have their pros and cons. I don't think neither one is like a, you know, just like 100% better than the other. They both have their perks, and they're both worth playing. definitely need ammo. BJ needs ammo badly. When all else fails, just try to push every wall. You'll eventually find all the secrets. Still don't have a key. I was gonna say that could end very poorly. Alright, there's our key. Alright, let's try to remember where the locked door is. Let's see. Not in the blue area. Definitely not there. It's right on the other side. Okay. It's actually close to the exit, I think. And I do not have much ammo. But since I reloaded my game earlier, I at least still have flamethrower and rocket launcher ammo. So that helps. Hey Code, you should try to beat Power Slave on Saturn. I'm very curious to see how your experience would go. Because there is some nasty level design in that game, and no checkpoints. You die at the end of a very hard level, you have to do the whole thing over again. But yeah, I have playthroughs of both the Saturn and the PC remake. The one that came out early this year. Definitely recommend playing the remaster. If anybody has never played the console versions before, definitely start with the remaster. Hey, Jayland. Welcome to the stream. We're actually a good way into Wolfenstein 3D on 3DO. I think there's only 6 episodes. But like I said, the floor counts for each episode goes up and up. So I'm going to wager this episode probably has 5 to 8 maps, and then the final one probably has the same 5 to 8 maps, maybe more. I might as well just waste all my rockets just to try to get ammo back for my guns, my machine guns. Hey, Tom. Welcome back. All right, let's see. Where are we at? 200? Okay. Good seeing you playing pinball with you on Friday. Oh, hey, man. Yeah, that tournament, man. I didn't leave Mustang Sally till 2 a.m. that night. It was crazy. But yeah, thanks for popping in. I appreciate that. I felt really bad because the bartender, Paul, like, he's not supposed to be there that late. You know, this place closes at 10 normally. And we kept him there till 2 a.m. It was kind of bad. The next one in a couple weeks is actually... We've already talked to Eric, the manager, and it's going to be... Their official close date that night will be 2 a.m. So the bartenders will be expected to be there the whole night, basically. That's the one where Stern Pinball is going to be there filming, which is should be interesting. Saw a bunch of the same guys at Mom's the next day looking tired. Yep. It's because a bunch of them were there until like the very end. It's crazy. Yeah, it ran so late, we didn't even get to finish the tournament the way it was supposed to. You know, you're supposed to just... Everyone's supposed to just play their games until they all have 3 strikes. And, you know, it's basically last man standing. But he took the last 4 players and just grouped them together on one game, and that was the final. So it's like, oh, come on. I got lucky and made it, you know, made it second. But, you know, you go through the whole tournament without, like, accruing any strikes. You want that to pay off in the end. So hopefully it won't be that way next time. Big turnout though. I mean, 40 players for a place like that on a Friday night that's a pretty big tournament. So it was cool.
Yeah!
Yeah! Yeah, I wish I was able to go to the pinball tournament at Mom's yesterday, but I work Saturdays, so it's just not possible. So I had to miss out on a lot of tournaments because of that. And there are no events going on today, which allows me to stream on YouTube at least. So here we are now. Thanks everyone that is tuned in. It's much appreciated. haven't been very good at scheduling streams lately because my outside YouTube life has been a little, I don't want to say busy, but just unpredictable, I will say. So, since Sunday is like the only day off I have that overlaps with a lot of other people's days off. A lot of people do Monday through Friday and they have Saturday and Sunday off. You know, I try to keep my Sundays free now as opposed to like scheduling a stream in advance. Because then if someone reaches out to me and is like, hey, you want to come hang out or, you know, go get lunch and catch up or whatever. Alright, who the... Had a feeling there was someone behind me. But yeah, I try to leave my Sundays free. And if I have nothing else going on, then I'll stream on YouTube. And so that's why some of these streams, like today's stream, has just been completely spontaneous. Yeah, because there was no heads-up display indicating I was taking damage. I had no idea where that enemy was, so I was like flipping around trying to figure out where he was, and it was too late. He was behind me. You recently scored 2 billion as Baratheon. You need to get another 35 billion. Come back to me when you've gotten another 35 billion. Hey, Beholder, welcome back. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. I think it's been a few weeks now. But in all seriousness, though, like, 2 billion in Game of Thrones is not bad at all. I mean... Especially, like, for people that are just learning the game, that is a really solid score. You know, a lot of times when we play it in League, a lot of people won't even get 1 billion on it. But it is the kind of game you can blow up really easily by getting to the Wizard mode. The big Wizard mode, which is Iron Throne. You play that out, and you finish it, and you keep combos going, and you have playfield multipliers. You're getting, like, billion-point shots. It's crazy. Super satisfying. Like, whenever I play Game of Thrones, I try to get to the big Wizard mode at the end. That's always my goal. I also love how that specific pinball machine, it tracks scores for every house. And so there's like a leaderboard for every house. And so I try to get number 1 on every house at my location. I think my highest was actually Tyrell. It's either like 35 or 39 billion or something like that. Tyrell has the in-lane shot multipliers, which can really help things. For those of you guys that aren't into pinball, this is all going right over your head, but there's a couple people in here that do play. All right. And that was a straggler. Well, Savvy, that's the thing about pinball. Like, you know, trust me, you don't start off scoring high. It takes a long time to get to that point. But, kind of like I was talking about last night with, like, Beat Mania, pinball is kind of similar in that when you first start playing, for the first couple years in particular, you will feel like you're constantly making progress and slowly getting better at the game. And then, before you know it, you start, you know, getting better, and then you become more consistent on all the games you play, and then, yeah. So P6, I don't know if you know, but a shortcut to Hand of the King is by playing as Targaryen. If you play as Targaryen, you do not have to complete that house, which is 3 modes normally. So that's actually a faster way to Hand of the King and Iron Throne. Someone actually taught me that strategy last year, and I've been doing that a lot just to try to get to Iron Throne faster. That said, the Targaryen modes can be worth a lot of points. And, but it is a faster way to the mini wizard mode and then Iron Throne. Hey, Pearl Jammer, welcome back. Oh, Dasan, everybody sucks at pinball at first. I do know a lot of people that are like, oh, I don't want to play pinball, I suck at it. It's like, well, you suck at everything when you first start. It doesn't matter what it is, you know? Like, even if you're not a video gamer, you probably sucked at football the first time you played it. You probably sucked at tennis or whatever sport you're into. But you got better because you played more, and it's the same with video games, it's the same with pinball. Now, I do understand, in the UK in particular, finding pinball is easier said than done. Like, Savvy was looking, we found out that the closest thing to her is like a couple hours away, so... Alright, let's restore game. Man, we've died a lot of times. I was really hoping that I'd get through the game without dying, but then I died twice, and we've died several times since. Does not help that they spawn me right next to enemies. That's just mean. So many doors. Design will stick to chess. Whatever makes you happy, man. My uncle plays chess. He's a big chess guy. He plays in a lot of the local tournaments for that. I've never bothered to really put any time into chess. You know, it's definitely one of those games I know the rules, but I don't know strategies. Alright, still no key. Man, I'm getting really hungry. How long have we been streaming? 2 hours, that's it? I ate, like, right before I started. Ugh. That's what I get for eating those potato chips, I think. Yeah, I had a salad and potato chips. That was it. It's also getting hot in my room. I had to take like a quick break just to crank the AC, the air conditioning. Alright, still no key. Cool. Key and ammo. Alright, I feel a little bit better. Sorry, Savvy. Didn't mean to make you hungry, too. Alright, where's the other key? You keep your scores archived on Pinside. Right on. Yeah, I used to do that. I haven't done that in a long time, though. If you look up AKM, that's my profile on Pinside. You can see my old scores. I should start posting some of the newer ones, but that takes effort, and I'm lazy. Yeah, code with the Space Cadet reference. Yeah, that's almost like a meme in the pinball world. It's like, I remember... this happens to me a lot, actually, but... remember my ex-coworker in particular. He, I told him I play pinball. He goes, "Oh, I love pinball! I played Space Cadet all the time!" And I just kind of, like, had to roll my eyes. Like, cool. Cool, man. That is like the most common response you'll get when you mention pinball. They're like, "Space Cadet?" Or like people will recognize like the song by The Who. You know, the deaf dumb blind kid sure plays some mean pinball. You know, pinball wizard. It's like, as pinheads, we can't escape it. I guess a good analogy for people that don't really understand what I'm talking about, it's like, you run into some person, online, not online, but like in person, you're like, "Oh, I love video games." "Oh, my son loves video games too, he plays Fortnite all day." And I'm just like, I mean, cool. I can't really relate, but alright. My mom tells her neighbors that I have a YouTube channel, and they're like, "Oh! My sons love watching people play games on YouTube. They watch Overwatch all day long." I'm just like, "Yeah, Mom, don't tell them about my YouTube channel." Alright, let me go... I need to crank my AC harder. It's getting pretty warm in here. It's been really hot lately. Which, I mean, it's the middle of summer. It's supposed to be hot. But this has been one of the hotter weeks for us the entire summer, so... Alright, I'll be right back. I might actually use the restroom real quick, too. All right. Hey, I play Fall Guys too sometimes. Yeah, no, it's not like, you know, there are people in the retro gaming scene that will judge people for playing modern games like Fortnite and stuff like that, or whatever's really popular. And I have to keep telling people, remind people, like, things are popular for a reason. Like, when I was playing popular online multiplayer games back in the day, it was like Quake and Unreal. That's what everybody played. I was technically, I guess, that Fortnite kid growing up, you know, playing the popular thing, but, you know, I also branched out and played a lot of other things, but, you know, you can't judge people for playing the popular games, because a lot of those popular games are really good if you actually, like, get into them. They're popular because they're good. It's not just like a fluke, you know, otherwise they wouldn't be popular. People aren't that dumb. I mean, some people can be pretty dumb and just get on bandwagons, but a popularity of a lot of games like that starts because they're good games. They're really fun games. A lot of times they're creative, and it's, you know, it's exciting to experience something like that that's new, and then it just catches on and blows up. That's just how it works. So I don't judge anybody for playing stuff like that. You know, it's like you play whatever you want that makes you happy. But it's just the analogy is like, well, I don't play that stuff, so it's hard for me to relate. You know, as you guys know, most of what I play is retro. I do play some modern stuff, don't get me wrong, and I've gone on some more modern binges recently. But I will say a lot of the stuff I play, even when it comes to modern games, has design philosophies more in line with retro games. Like, I love the Dark Souls series. I loved Elden Ring. You know, they're games that really make you work, and they also make you feel like garbage when you lose. So, and that's just kind of what I'm used to with my gaming. Yeah, this level's pretty mean, by the way. It's a door apocalypse. You can just hear the doors constantly opening and closing. I'm trying to remember if this is our boss level. I think it might be. Whoa there. Jeez, look at that frame rate. So many enemies are stacked on top of each other. The frame rate's tanking. Oh, that's kind of great, honestly. It's pretty funny. Look at that, it's chugging. It's affecting the controls, too. This is one of the issues with really low frame rates, especially on, like, the 3DO. Killing time is like this, but it's the whole game. And it really affects your ability to aim, and it just does not feel good. It's another thing I'm jealous about modern gamers is they don't really have to deal with the frame rate issues we did on some console games back in the day. Like, I honestly almost feel bad for some people that owned a 3DO back then and had to deal with, like, some of the bad frame rates on it. It's very jarring. Ah, there we go. Fragging too hard. This is one of the busiest levels in the game, though. I mean, this first room is super dangerous. And then you wake up everybody in both hallways, and they just start flooding in. There's another one. Good. Alright, good ammo. Finally. And we have an influx of health as well, which is great. Yeah, I feel like this is the boss room. Maybe it's not. Oh, it is. I thought it was. He didn't say Guten Tag. I'm disappointed. Disappointed. He's got a rocket launcher though. I guess is this the Death Knight? I think that's his name. I don't remember. Take it nice and safe. There we go. Definitely spoiled on PC now. If your frames dip below 60, it's literally unplayable. I know the feeling. You have those expectations, like this, you know. Not expectations. You have standards. I do try to like not let frame rates bother me. Ones that are like slightly under 60, stuff like that. It's when it's like it's really inconsistent is when it really bothers me. So like Elden Ring on my PC, it doesn't run flawlessly. Like it's not a perfect 60 at all times. Like it does dip a little bit. For one, my hardware is not top of the line anymore. I mean, it's still pretty good, but it's, you know. And Elden Ring's also not exactly the most well-optimized game either, as a lot of people know. Alright, I need to go see if I can try to find more ammo. I think there's that secret in the beginning that might have some. Or not. But yeah, when frame rate starts to bother me is when it's like... Say, like... We used Gex as an example earlier. Gex on 3DO runs at like 30 frames a second, maybe even less. And it's really jarring for a 2D side-scrolling platformer. Like, you go and you play Donkey Kong Country on Super Nintendo in comparison, and it's like buttery smooth. And then you play the same game, Gex, but on like the PlayStation, and it's a good 60 FPS. It just feels so much more responsive and fun to play. Like, it feels good. But a game like that needs to be 60. I mean, that's how platformers basically always have been. Sonic the Hedgehog was 60s. All the Super Mario Brothers games were 60. You know, it's like Donkey Kong Country was 60. Mega Man was 60. Ninja Gaiden, Castlevania. It's just how those games should be. So when you play something like Gex on 3DO, that's 30 FPS, you're like, this feels off. You know? But then, like, you get into, you know, polygonal games from that era, and, like, 3DO has some polygonal games that are, like, literally 7 or 8 frames a second. It is horrible. And so, like, when we get down to, like, those levels, that's where frame rate really starts to, like, get to me. Like, you've got to have, you know... I don't really know what, like, a good solid number is for a frame rate from back in the day for, like, you know, a console 3D game. 15 frames a second? 20 maybe? I mean, 30 would be ideal for, you know, like a 3D game on 3DO or PlayStation or Saturn. But man, the ones that hit 60, they hold up the best. There's a couple of 3D games from back then that hit 60, like F-Zero X on N64. Internal Section on PS1 is 60. And it's great stuff. It holds up so great. Alright! But these days, yeah, we have the expectation that everything should be 60 at a bare minimum. And I would definitely like to see the industry, you know, strive for that. There are still some games out there on console in particular that still just target 30, just so they can have, you know, better graphic fidelity. I'd rather take a hit to the graphics and have a smoother frame rate. So I always feel like games should be designed with 60 FPS in mind. People often forget that, like, at least in, you know, Japan and the United States, we always had a 60 hertz refresh rate. And that's basically 1 frame a second. So 60 frames a second. And even going all the way back to the Atari 2600, you know, games updated at that refresh rate. They ran at 60 frames a second. And, so, you know, some games were just buttery smooth, because that's how they always were. And it was always disappointing, especially during, like, the 360 and PS3 era, where we really started to veer away from 60 FPS as a standard. Started to become 30, just to try to crank out better visual effects and stuff like that. So they basically went with, ooh, look at these shiny graphics, but runs at 20 frames a second. Or it's like 30, it's a locked, or attempts to be 30, and then also dips lower than that. There's so many games that had inconsistent frame rates, even at 30. It would be like 30, then the next moment it would be 15. And then it would be 23, and it's just like, ooh, really hard on the eyes. But at least we are kind of like back in that 60 FPS standard direction, which is nice. Oh, I see Drew out there. Hey, Drew, what's going on, man? Drew asks, how important is 4K to me in modern gaming? Honestly, I've barely done any 4K gaming, even though I have a 4K TV in the living room. And the big reason for that is when I play games, I'm usually streaming. And I don't have a 4K display in my game room. So right now, 4K is not that important to me. Don't get me wrong, I mean, 4K looks a lot nicer than 1080p. So there's going to be a point where I'd like to start playing more games on my HD TV, or my 4K TV, I should say. Maybe just by myself off stream. Like, I have a PS5 now, and I have an Xbox Series X. And a lot of their games hit 4K. So I did notice in particular when I was streaming Demon's Souls, it definitely looks a lot nicer in 4K. You know, 4K definitely makes a game look like it's a much larger upgrade. You know, it's basically the kind of the equivalent of going from like a Sony PlayStation and then going to like the Xbox 360 era and seeing HD for the first time. Like, the resolution definitely matters. Duh. This is a tiny room. I can't believe there are that many enemies in there. By the way, this is our last episode. So we got some more maps to go through, and then we're going to be done with this stream. That's the beginning. Another key. I feel like I should probably access the locked door. I forget what it does. Yeah, that's another thing, Die Hard. That's a good point, is going for a 1440p display, which looks nicer than 1080, but with a high refresh rate. So you actually get to see above 60 FPS, which is Nice. I think that's probably what I'm going to end up doing, because 4K displays that are high refresh rate are, like, still super expensive. I've always been one of those cheap asses that will basically just pay, like, $100 for a computer monitor. Maybe $150. And there's no way you can get a 4K display with high refresh rate and a quality panel for $150. So, I'd probably pay a few $100s, get, like, another, like a 1440p display. It's not really in the cards right now for me. I still have, I don't know. Like, my monitors, they work fine for me right now, so upgrading at the moment is probably a little frivolous. I have to wait a little bit before I can really do that. I think this key is actually, like, for a secret room. And, yeah, I don't remember. Oh, you know what? There was also, I think, like a side area I did not go through. Yeah, like I don't think I came down here. Nope, I came down there. Did I come down here? Nope. God, they shoot so fast. Alright, see you, Tom. Have a good night. Enjoy your dinner. Yeah, it's just a secret. I don't think there are actually any secret maps in this version. I don't know if I've ever actually found them. But in the PC version, I'm pretty sure this secret takes you to the famous Pac-Man level. It's basically a Pac-Man maze, and they added in ghosts that chase you. It's pretty funny. Yeah, I don't know if I've actually found any secret maps in the 30 map campaign. Drew says 1440p, 144 hertz is a really great sweet spot. Yeah, it sounds like it. Joe says they're up to 270 hertz now at 1440p. That's insane. I would love to play classic Doom at like over 200 hertz, 200 FPS, and actually see all the frames and see how it feels. I mean, same with Doom 2016. I can actually run that game at several hundred frames a second. Man, don't even get me started. Now I kind of want to upgrade my monitor. Thanks, guys. Dexter says anything above 144, 165 hertz is probably not really necessary for most people unless you're into esports, Twitch FPS games. I mean, sure, but there was one point in time where we probably thought 60 FPS was like... People were always like, oh, your eye can't detect more than 60 FPS. It's like, I don't know about that. But now we're like, ooh, now everybody wants at least 120 hertz. So, I don't know, maybe we'll adapt to 120 and 144, and then 200 something will be the next step up. We won't know until we get there, though. And after we've lived with this technology for a while, and we allow this technology to become normal. And for me, higher than 60 FPS is not normal, unless I'm playing like old MS-DOS games on a, you know, VGA CRT, which I have right next to me, actually. But in terms of, you know, standard gaming outside that, I've not ever played anything greater than 60 FPS. Or I should say, a 60 hertz refresh rate on my monitor. Technically, the games are still running at higher frame rates on PC in particular, if they can handle it. You know, as seen by like the frame rate counters and stuff like that, which helps with the responsiveness. But I definitely feel the responsiveness. But then there's also lots of screen tearing, unless I've got VSync turned on, which I usually keep VSync off because of you know, adds input latency. Ah. Yeah, honestly, I can't wait to have a nice high refresh rate monitor and just play a lot of the classic games I love at, you know, really high frame rates and actually be able to see it. Dude, what the hell? These guys basically followed me in from another room. Jeez. That was just mean. Hey, Daniel, yes, it is an awesome soundtrack. I totally agree. Can't be leaving frames on the table. Crestline says, is the other map set exclusive to 3DO? No, this map set is in the Super Nintendo and Jaguar versions as well. And the Macintosh version. Wow, okay, so if you're up close, the rockets aren't guaranteed to kill enemies in one hit. Did not know that. But what's cool about the 3DO version, Crestline, is it also has the original maps from the PC game. So you can play all 6 original episodes. Now, granted, they're not nearly as detailed. You don't have as much texture variety in this version of the game. So there's a lot of, like, gray hallways like this that weren't in the original computer versions. But it's a lot of content, though. It's like 90 maps or something like that. So there's a lot of replay value in this version. Overkill, but I didn't want to die. I was thinking I had some rockets left, but apparently not. Yeah, so many of the same rooms. Hey, Master Cheese, welcome back. Speaking of which, that's actually a modern game I need to finally play, and I need to play Halo Infinite. I have access to it from Xbox Game Pass, but I still haven't played it. Woof. Man.
All right. All right.
I mean, Stuxer, my logic with the whole refresh rate thing is that we have to live with it for a while and have our eyes get used to it. It's like with 1080p. I never thought resolutions could go higher than that. Like, I was like, this is unbelievably crisp. But over time, I started being able to pick out like the edges of the of objects. I could see the pixels. Just like I could see the pixels back in the day on 320 by 240 games on console or PC or whatever. But those very same games at 240p looked super crisp to me back in the day. So, like, again, my logic is, like, you know, we have to give it time, and we have to live with these technological advancements. And then maybe we'll start picking out the flaws, and then seeing the improvements in, say, higher refresh rates, higher resolutions, stuff like that. It's like a perception thing, in a way. Stexer says Halo Infinite was pretty good from what he's heard. Yeah, everyone I've talked to that's played it says they really enjoyed it, which is great to hear. It's the Halo series is kind of had a rocky history. You know, Bungie basically left. Halo Reach was their last one, and then 343 Studios was made to continue the series, and you know, Halo 4 was okay. It wasn't... I didn't think it was amazing, but I still enjoyed it well enough. Halo 5 was like, there were some weird design decisions there that really brought it down. But man, I still love the first Halo. It's one of my all-time favorite games. Some of you guys probably don't know. I absolutely adore the first Halo. I think it's an amazing game. I still enjoy Halo 2 and Halo 3 well enough. I think they're also really good games. Halo Infinite, from what I've heard, is kind of like a return to form in a way. I mean, despite the open world aspect, like combat-wise, it's supposedly a lot of fun. Office says your perception stat has increased. If it was Gauntlet Legends, you have gained a level. Halo Infinite is good. The online play died so fast, though, unfortunately. That sucks. Yeah, thankfully for me, really, all I care about for Halo is just the single player. I did play multiplayer on it a lot back in the day, but eventually Halo just became a single player thing for me, so the online being kind of dead doesn't really bother me too much. I just want to have a good, like, single player experience. But for people that are in the multiplayer, though, that does kind of suck when a new game like that just kind of, like, dies out in terms of player base. That's right, I think there was a locked door back here. It really was, Drew. Yeah, I never saw Halo coming, you know. I didn't expect it to have that kind of impact on the industry. I mean, so many games tried imitating it after it became a success. And I got an original Xbox on launch day back in the day. But even there, I still had no idea what Halo was. I was like, what is this Halo thing? I was like, I'm all about Dead or Alive 3 and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2X. It wasn't until probably 2002 or 2003 I actually like put time into Halo, and I fell in love with it. I was like, dude, why didn't I get this on launch day? I would have been blown away if I had Halo on launch day. Halo was the first first-person shooter, in my opinion, that did analog stick controls well for FPS on a console. Every other first-person shooter that utilized analog sticks always felt janky and hard to get adjusted to, but Halo just made it so buttery smooth. Anybody could pick up a controller and get used to it instantly. You know. But then everything else about it was just awesome. I mean, like, the visuals were definitely next gen when it first came out. There was nothing quite like it. And obviously the integration of the storytelling was a big step up from previous games in general. Great voice acting, you know, stuff like that. But it also didn't, like, get in the way of gameplay. It wasn't, like, stopping the game every 5 seconds to tell a story. It's like, it integrated, you know, the story with live gameplay very well. Oh my god, I had a feeling that was going to happen. And I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I saved it on the previous level. Man, we were probably towards the end, too. I bet you. Let's see. I'll go ahead and risk it. I'm pretty sure I saved it. Master Cheese got an N64 today. Hell yeah. Congratulations. I'm trying to debate, like, what I want to do for October in terms of, like, spooky-themed videos and streams. I have a lot to choose from. I haven't done a playthrough of Castlevania 64 in a while. I'm almost thinking maybe I should try to tackle that. But I also have to do my annual run of Symphony of the Night. So, man, I'm gonna have to map out my October schedule. October is like the one month of the year where I actually, like, make a list and have a game plan. But then I get so burned out from it that I don't want to do crap for the next 11 months. Hey, Adrian, welcome back. Yeah, Stexer, I hear your point, but you're missing my point. I was very well aware of your points, but you're obviously missing mine. Regarding the refresh rate thing. Your point is now people don't see a difference. My point is in the future they might. You can't predict the future just by looking at now. You have to just kind of let it be for a while, and then people start recognizing things they didn't see before, or weren't perceptive of before. And we won't know that until it happens, if it happens. No, I'm not doing Nightmare Creatures. I know Crestline's asked me about that a lot over the years. I mean, never say never, but I tried getting into that game a couple years ago, and I just, it's kind of janky. I didn't really want to put the effort into it. Zombies Ate My Neighbors, total conversion for Z-Doom. I have no idea. I've never even heard of that. Wasn't aware that was a mod that was in progress. Could be fun. Office says 1440p versus 144p. There's no difference. Fight me. It's called wisdom, Stexor. You don't earn it until you get a little bit older. You're still a baby, remember? fudge! I deserve that for giving Stexor a hard time. God damn it. I'm supposed to actually help one of my friends move a pinball machine in a little bit. He hasn't reached out to me, so it doesn't sound like he's ready yet, but I'd like this stream to be done by the time he's ready. You need a Janktober stream. Well, we can do that any time of the year. It doesn't have to be in October. Maybe later tonight when I come back, I'll have to try to practice some NES games or something. I do want to... Well, I also want to revisit Splatterhouse 2 for Genesis. Try to do like a quick play of that. But for the longest time, I wanted to actually learn how to beat Dr. Chaos on NES. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to manage that before October hits. Just about to ask if I was in the Metroidvania games. You tried Metroid Dread. You never really played those side-scrollers. You found it very difficult. Yeah, Metroid Dread is probably not a great starting point, from what I understand. I haven't played it, but I have played Samus Returns, which is basically the prequel to Metroid Dread. Well, in terms of the game development studio and the style of gameplay, I would recommend Super Metroid if you've never played it on Super Nintendo. If you don't have access to it, just emulate it. It's a phenomenal game. It holds up amazingly well. And Metroid Dread and stuff like that has like these defense maneuvers that require like very strict timing, and the games are a lot faster paced and harder to manage as a result. So again, my recommendation would be to try to start with something like Super Metroid. It's one of the best games ever made, in my opinion, and holds up amazingly well. And then if you get sucked into it, I would do something like the Game Boy Advance ones, Metroid Zero Mission, and then Metroid Fusion. Those are the most like Super Metroid. And then from there, experiment with the others, like Metroid Dread or whatever, so... You also traded in Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze for Dread. No way. I need to actually learn Tropical Freeze as well. We did Donkey Kong Country Returns last year. It would be great to follow it up with Tropical Freeze. Alright, there we go. A little bit of health. Oh my god, how are you dodging those bullets? Stop it. Stop it. Slow and steady. I don't have the key for that yet. It's difficult for your smooth FPS brain. No, Tropical Freeze is a very challenging game. That's why I haven't finished it yet. So is Donkey Kong Country Returns. Those are not easy games in the slightest. You need something that's a smoother ride. You need to play like the original Donkey Kong Country on Super Nintendo. That's the only one in the series I would consider to be on the easier side of things. It obviously still has its own challenges, but it's nothing like Tropical Freeze in terms of difficulty. I'm actually really glad Retro Studios made their games hard, because we're not used to seeing that kind of difficulty these days outside of like the insanely brutal like precision platformers. like Super Meat Boy and like Aleste, you know, stuff like that. By the way, Aleste is awesome for anybody that hasn't played it. I did a blind stream of it a couple years ago, and I was blown away at its quality. It's so good. I'm rushing along way too fast here. I'm just getting impatient. But I mean, this is a big map. You don't really want to get impatient. Yeah, like Adrian said, if you have the Switch Online service, you can play Donkey Kong Country. I think Donkey Kong Country's on there, and then Super Metroid as well. These guys are getting stuck. Where are you? There you go. Oof. Oy, eyes are starting to get like fuzzy. .64% health. .68% health. Okay, dog, come on. Oh my god, seriously? Where are you guys coming from? Ugh. Yeah, one thing I will say is not amazing with this version of the game is like the stereo sound effects. Or, not really the stereo sound effects, it's the, like, the distance effect. There's basically no, like, distance effect in this game. Every sound call out you hear... Wow, secret map? Every sound call out you hear is, like, right in your ears. Whereas the PC version, there's distance. There's distant audio. So, you know, you can hear an enemy all the way down the hallway and they sound distant. But not in this, so... It's hard to tell if someone's on your ass or if they're, like, all the way down in the other side of the arena. Oh, did I say Aleste? Yeah, sorry, I meant Celeste. Sorry, guys. I didn't even catch myself on that one. I just said Aleste like it was normal. Yes, I meant Celeste. Stexor was on to me. I knew that was gonna happen. Oh my god. This is getting so annoying because it's so freaking hot in my apartment right now and I'm trying to stream and it's just, oh, so aggravating. I'm just getting wrecked by these guys too. So like, I'm physically uncomfortable and I'm trying to do stuff that's physically demanding as well. Alright, just kill me. Just kill me. Ugh. You know, so much for a smooth run. I was expecting to have a pretty smooth playthrough and it's been anything but, which sucks. Because it's like, what's the point in me streaming this again if it's just gonna be a garbage stream just like my first one 4 years ago? It's like, what the frickin' do? Hopefully you guys are at least enjoying it. Oh, great! I'm gonna die again, because I can't get through these doors. Oh, man. You know, I think Jaguar Wolfenstein 3D is the only version of Wolfenstein 3D I've done where I haven't gotten annoyed. Yay! Alright, we got a key. Alright. So defeating him was obviously necessary. Can I just exit? Alright. Screw it. I'm done with this level. Well, that was map 7, so that kind of tells me that there are only 6 main maps. We'll see if that actually lines up. Think a replay of Spirit Destiny is going to go better than last time? I have no idea, Stexor. It might. It might not. It might be a horrible playthrough. That is one I will definitely stream. I'll do a run before, like, I do the YouTube stream. I'm not going into that one blind again. We already know what can happen when I do that. I went into today's stream blind, but I figured, oh, well, I rocked Wolfenstein 3D on Jaguar a couple years ago. Man, were we playing on the highest difficulty too? We might have. I don't remember. So I figured, okay, you know, I'll be fine on the 3DO version. I think the 3DO version plays better overall. You know, you got shoulder strafing, it's definitely faster. Feels faster. But it kind of backfired on me. This is always a tricky map. Oh, man. So by my logic, I think we've only got 2 more maps after this. Let's come this way first. It's weird that it makes a dog barking sound when you eat the dog food. I don't remember smashing a controller in 3DO Wolf 3D Sexor. I think I would remember that, because I still have all my 3DO controllers. They all look fine, they play fine. Alright, let's access our map. Confusing level design is confusing. I have to do this again. Okay. Okay, that is... okay. Sort of it. Alright. Yeah, that is one of the aggravating things about Wolfenstein 3Ds. A lot of areas look the same, so it's... you know, you really need, like, different textures. You need landmarks and stuff like that. Otherwise, you just kind of forget where you are. Oh, no. Yeah, I did not want to be in front of that door trying to attack that guy, because I knew that there's probably going to be someone else on the other side. I mean, if I, like, pounded the desk or something, Stexor, I mean, that sounds normal. I still do that occasionally when I'm in a bad mood. Usually it comes down to mood for me. Hey, Jeffrey, welcome back. I, did not see you out there for some reason. I actually, you know, it's... people like to look at me raging at games and think it's funny, but it's like... I don't like me when I'm raging. I really hate myself. It doesn't feel good, and so when people bring it up, I don't really like it. It's like a sore spot for me. It's like basically pointing out my flaws, like, and I'm well aware of them, so I don't really like thinking about those times. Like again, it's funny for other people, but it's not really funny for me. I've done some real damage, man, over the years. I put holes in my wall. Like, I threw a freaking computer across the room, and it put a gigantic hole in my wall that I had to stare at for a while. I still have holes in this room where I chucked my Switch controller across the room. I hadn't had it happen in a while, but last week I utterly destroyed an Xbox Series controller playing Dark Souls 2. I was just in such a funk that day, and I just kept dying and dying. I think I died at a boss like 15 times. And instead of just being mature and turning off the console, I went into rage mode. I was so pissed off. I guess part of it is me, and this is just making an excuse, but I guess what goes on in my brain is that I just want to like have fun playing games, but I take on these challenges and you know, it ends up where it has the opposite effect on me. I no longer have fun. I'm not doing anything else with my life. I feel like just a freaking loser wasting all this time, getting wrecked endlessly. And then I just snap and like I start breaking stuff. Because I just don't care at that point. You know, I've been better about it recently, but it's, you know, it's been a problem for a long time. Don't have the key. Yeah, I mean, in a way, it's a rite of passage, but on the other hand, like, you shouldn't be doing it all the time. Like, you shouldn't be throwing stuff as much as, like, I have over the years, especially if it causes, like, physical and monetary damage. I mean, if I want to replace that Xbox controller, it's going to cost me another $70. And I broke the headset that was attached to it, too, because the cable's not great. It just ripped apart. Instead of the headset coming out of the socket nice and clean, the cable just snaps at the connector end, so that was a $70 headset down the drain. I will say, one of the good things about me throwing stuff through my walls is I've learned how to do drywall. So I'm one step closer to being a, you know, fully fledged adult. It's like when I was in the hospital a month and a half ago. You know, it's kind of a crappy situation, but on the bright side, I finally learned how to swallow pills, which I never could do before. They basically gave me a medication and they said, oh, yeah, you can't chop this up. You have to swallow this. This will not, you know. So I had to spend a night learning how to swallow pills. It was not pleasant, but now I can do it, so... You know, it's that silver lining, you know? Yeah, morale is definitely a big part of it, though. I totally agree. It's like... Even if you're playing something that's really hard, you have to be willing to, like, just take the slaps across the face as you play. And if it does get heated and you start getting, like, unpleasantly anxious, like, then you really should just stop playing. And that's not something I'm good at, because I'm like, I just want to play this game. I don't have to go to bed yet. I've got hours I can still play this. I want to maximize my time with this game. And so... instead of, like, taking a breather or taking a step back, I just, you know, beat my head against a brick wall, and it definitely affects me mentally, for sure. I think a lot of other people recognize that, though, and that's why they don't play a lot of difficult games like I do. Because I think they recognize that they'll pop just like I do. And no one likes to be in that position. I think I can get away with it because I live by myself. You know, I don't have anybody to answer to, so it's hard to control myself. It's not like if I had a wife or a girlfriend or something and I throw a controller across the room, she comes running in and starts screaming at me. Like, I don't have that here, so I don't have to really, I don't have to tiptoe around... You know, I don't have to worry about, like, walking on eggshells. It's just me. So that's another issue. Maybe that'll change down the road. For you, you find yourself spending money on DLC content when you're in a rut just to make yourself feel better. Yep. Yep. Yeah, when I get, like, depressed, I'll just go on the marketplaces and just start buying random stuff. Or I'll go to, like, my Steam wish list and be like, is there anything I want to buy here? Lately, I've actually been pretty good about not doing that because, I realize most of the stuff I buy doesn't get played. You know, I've got a huge Steam library. We're talking, like, 700 to 800 games. Alright, so I have to go to the blue area. Oh, good lord, this map design is just like... Oh no, that's not the blue. That's actually... I can't get into that area. Yeah, these last few levels are really big. I have to go to the brown area. Yeah, okay. Where am I? I'm in the brown area. Okay. Whoa, that... My screen just, like, completely changed hue. It was really weird. Maybe that's my eyes. I don't know. I am on a lot of medication right now. And my blood sugar levels are really high, so I don't know what's going on with me. Alright, let's try this again. Whoops! Let's go back. Okay, yeah, we're getting close. There we go. Yeah, guys in the elevator. Hey, DG, welcome back. Retail therapy. Yep. I prefer my retail therapy to be, like, in person at a game store, though. Like, where I buy physical items. That definitely makes me feel better than, you know, buying stuff digitally. Because digital stuff just sits in the library. I kind of forget about it. It's out of sight, out of mind. Alright, so floor 6-5. Alright, I'm trying to remember if there's a secret in this early room. Yep. Ooh, that's a good secret. Hi, my name is Barack Obama, and I approve of that secret. Yeah, Jeffrey, there are no stairs. It's actually interesting that they have elevators but not stairs. That, you know, that is actually something that some other games did. I think Operation Body Count did that, where instead of an elevator, there was basically a stairwell. It's just a texture of a stairwell. And then you'd go to the next level. I think that's how it worked. So I guess it made a little more sense. Oh, jeez. Dude, I haven't booted up the Epic Launcher in, like, a year. Friends keep telling me about it's free games, and I'm just like, dude, I have so many games already. We're at the point where even if the game is free, I still don't care. I don't even... I don't go through the effort of firing up the launcher. I'm just like, nah, I'm good. If it was something I really, really wanted already, I would have bought it already. That's kind of how I am. It's like, I'm not one of those that's like, I'm gonna wait until, like, the game is 80% off. I could be waiting a long time. If it's something I really, really want to play, I just go ahead and buy it. Now, if it's on sale, you know, cool, convenient, but I don't usually just, like, I'm not a holdout. If it's just something I really want to play, I just go get it. But because my library is so big already on Steam, I just don't buy much anymore on it because of that fact. It's like, I've been pretty good about telling myself not to buy games on Steam because I have such a large library. It's like, just play the games you already have, dude. Like, just, you know? It's not even just Steam, too. Like, I probably have 50 to 100 games on GOG I've bought over the years. I still have my Oculus Rift S. I have a bunch of VR games I've barely touched. Like, and then of course, you know, I've got all my Switch, PS4, PS5, and Xbox One and Xbox Series digital titles as well. I mean, between all that, we're probably talking like over 1,000 games at my disposal at any moment, and that's not counting my physical game collection. That's not counting flashcards and all that stuff. I like to tell myself just like buying digital games to make myself feel good is not a good idea. Although I will say at one point in time, part of my reasoning for just buying a lot of Steam games was, well, I've been in a position before where I've had to sell off all my consoles. It's possible that could happen again. I don't want it to, but it's possible. And by having a huge Steam library, when that happens, I'll still be able to access like just about any game I want. Like, I'll be able to survive. So that's kind of like one way I looked at it. And I took advantage of Steam sales for a long time. You know, the winter and summer sales in particular were the best. Especially in the early days of Steam, where a lot of games would go down to like $2. Spend $50 and come out with 25 plus games. Those are fun times. I actually kind of miss the older days of Steam, when I would actually get excited for the sale. Recently, I just haven't even really poked around during the sales. I just kind of forget they even happen now, because I'm not hoarding Steam games like I used to. It's actually kind of funny, I've rolled my score. I can't even keep track anymore. Vampire Survivors. No, I haven't even heard of that one. Whoa, 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 whoa. See, that's one of the issues with the sound is I had this door open. I thought it was just closing, but the door right next to me was opening up with an enemy behind it. It's like, ugh. So it's much harder to predict where enemies are in this version. 3D spatial audio is so important in first-person shooters. People have no idea. Yeah, especially if you're doing multiplayer and you need to listen to where your opponent is. Oh, okay. Yep, I knew it. Vampire Survivors? It's kind of a bullet hell game, Apis style, non-stop enemies spawning. Best $3 you spent on Steam in a while. No way. Okay, let me actually look that up real quick. Oh, interesting. That actually, it looks really slow paced, actually. I was expecting something that was like really quick. That's interesting. Yeah, it looks like you get experience points and level up and stuff like that. I can see how that could be addictive, for sure. That actually looks like it's pretty fun. Yeah, I remember the old days of Quake in particular, where I was playing competitively quite a bit. Sound, if you didn't have, you know, if you weren't playing with headphones and, you know, you weren't paying attention to the audio, you're gonna get your butt handed to you. You know, especially back then, those deathmatch maps were pretty small. So it was very crucial to hear, like, where the opponent was at all times, and you had to know where the items were. So if you heard, say, someone pick up 2 medkits back to back, like da-doo-da-doo, you knew exactly what hallway they were in, because it's the only hallway with 2 medkits back to back, and you can tell by like the distant audio or the spatial audio too. You know, stuff like that's very important. And it goes all the way back to games like Wolfenstein 3D. You know, you can hear enemies in the distance. Oh, no! What? The game just reset on me. I went to restore my game and it just reset. Ah, hey, Ronnie. I mean, my save file will still be there, but that was really weird. Well, at least you guys get to see the Interplay logo. Yeah, that would actually be really funny. Maybe, my my score went too high. Did I ever play on Dwango? I did not. I know what it is, but yeah, I never did it. It looks like we lost a Patchouli. We still have a Milo, though. Patchouli! 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 There she is! Hey, babe. What you doing? Good girl. Oh, man. Whew. Are there any games that had this logo? You mean the Logicware one? Or the Interplay one? But yeah, a bunch of them did. You just... P6 says, I just know I'm not able to platinum some games. Others are not worth going for the platinum trophy, like Diablo 3 or Diablo 2. Yeah, I don't. That's definitely not something I try to bother with. There are a lot of people that go, like, achievement and trophy hunting, and, it's just it's a never-ending cycle. Like, you get a platinum on one game, there's just an endless supply of other games to get platinums on. It's just, like I said, never-ending. Well, where are you going? Alright, let's see if we can reload the game. Just figured we haven't seen the kitties in a little while, so... Alright, see you, Mark. Have a good night, sir. Oh, man. Oh, man. That's what I get for trying to be slick. Ugh. Oops, I did it again. I tried switching back to my machine gun, and I failed. Alright. Yeah, we can do it, guys. This isn't that hard. Honestly, I shouldn't even be failing as much as I have. Alright, guys around the corner. There we go. I was gonna say there should be a secret back there. Hey, Agostino. Welcome back. You're popped it in just the tail end. I think this is our final level. Yeah, Agostino, I haven't done 3DO in a while because it's... I ran into, just signal issues with my FrameMeister. Like, with Composite and S-Video, Like, I could not get a signal to display properly at all. Especially with the 3DO. I had to go through my settings to try to figure out what was going on, and I managed to solve the problem, thankfully. I was actually really close to not being able to stream this today. I would have had to play something else on a different console. But we got it, so hopefully we can do more 3DO stuff in the near future. I have Alone in the Dark and Escape from Monster Manor. It's possible I might be able to do something with those for a stream. It's been, I think, about 2 years at least since I beat Alone in the Dark on YouTube. And that was the PC version, so it would be cool to do the 3DO one. Mecha Hitler. Got him. Victory! Whew, that's it. Oh, man. And that's it. Kind of anticlimactic. The Jaguar version has the intermission sequences like Spear of Destiny does. But not here, apparently. Thanks for the GGs, everybody. I appreciate it. And that's it. That's actually really anticlimactic. Like, pretty much no ending. You get the victory message, and that's it. I completely forgot there was basically no ending in this version. It's a shame there was no death cam either. Remember the original PC version had the death cam? It would say, let's see that again! And it would do it in slow-mo. It was great. Oh man, well, I guess that's it, guys. Just to kind of show you, I'll just real quick, I will show you the first level, Escape from Wolfenstein. Actually, you know what? No, let's hit cancel. Let's do Confrontation. The very first level is a level that we had to do on episode 6 already. But you'll notice how much larger it is now. This is the original PC layout. So this set of hallways now is going to be much, much larger. Oh yeah. It's so large the frame rate tanks. We're getting into killing time territory now. We're not quite there yet, but it is pretty choppy. This is likely one reason why they went with this, you know, the stripped back level setup. Because the frame rate just, like, dies with these huge maps. It feels like it's never... Look at that! It's almost like it's never ending. I can actually see enemies hiding behind the wall. It's like glitching out as I turn. Yeah, you can see them. Now you can't. It's like they're ghosts. So like the fact that you can play the PC version levels is really cool. But man, the performance definitely tanks as a result. Yeah, it's just insanely large compared to anything else that we've encountered. Alright guys, we're gonna stream for another 6 hours. Wow, look at that frame rate. Woo! Woo! It's crazy. Oh man. Whee! Oh! Oh man. Alright, let's whoa, hit back. Yeah, there we go. That is Wolfenstein 3D for the 3DO, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed it. But yeah, good times. The run was not nearly as smooth as I was hoping, or expecting even. I was expecting to just rip right through the game. And the places I thought I might die at, I actually ended up not dying. So, it's yeah, it is what it is. But still, hopefully you enjoyed the playthrough. I'll consider doing Spear of Destiny again sometime soon, since you guys had brought it up a few times over the course of the stream. But, yeah, we're getting close to October. We're only a month out, and I need to start prepping content and figuring out content for that, because that's the month that you guys love the most here. So it's the month I love the most as well, content-wise. It's actually my favorite time of the year anyway, so... But, yeah, that's gonna do it for me, guys. Thank you for hanging out. John says it was a cool run while it lasted. Joe says, hope to play some pinball with you again soon. Well, that Mustang Sally tournament is on Friday, September 16th, so a little, 2.5 weeks away. So just a heads up on that. If you can make it out that night, maybe I'll see you then. Yeah, so that will be happening in a few weeks. Should be another big turnout. Stern Pinball's going to be there recording. They're going to do a small documentary on the brewery that we play at, so it would definitely be a good day to show up, because then you can potentially be in their video. So, hey, thanks, Dexor. I appreciate it. You're looking forward to the Spirit Destiny if I'm going to do that. You will watch the rest of the stream soon. Cool. DG said, I'm guessing you're holding down the fire button, but the FPS is just that low. Yeah. The FPS is just that low because there's just too much happening. The hallway was massive, and then there were a lot of enemies on screen too. So, let's see, are there any cats there? Nope, the cats are just off camera.
Hey, kitties! What you doing? Hi!
Well, we'll go ahead and do the backer credits. Thank you guys again for hanging out. And, yeah, John, Stern Pinball themselves will be there. It'll be like their marketing team or production team. Recording and interviewing people and stuff like that. And then they have a series of brewery videos on their YouTube channel. So you'll see those appear on Stern's Pinball channel. So, yeah, watch out for those. Maybe what I'll do is I'll make like a community post here and a link to it whenever it's available, just to show you guys like what the main pinball place is like, the one that I primarily play at. I mean, I play at a bunch of areas here, but it's the one that they're gonna do is like my home location, so. But alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for me. A wide variety of talk on tonight's stream, that was cool. And yeah, I'll try to have the archive up sometime tomorrow. I don't really have any plans tomorrow. It's entirely possible I could be back for another stream. I have to see the cardiologist tomorrow regarding the heart issue from a month and a half ago. So hopefully no real bad news from that. But after that, that's like early afternoon. Once I'm done with that, I will be free to just do whatever. So I don't know, maybe I'll get bored and stream again, or maybe I'll just spend my time trying to figure out some NES games or something for October. I don't know, we'll see. I do have to practice some Castlevania 3, because I'd like to do a proper Let's Play walkthrough for that. I'd like to. But we'll see. But, alrighty guys. I'll catch you later. I guess until the next one, take it easy.